So this is the last step, sorta. I say sorta because you can look through and find all sorts of things you want to do. This reason I say it's the last step, because it's probably the last step I'm going to do or close. After you come out of these two red highlighted areas and you've got everything in there accomplished, there's little things like this right here. You might want to have your current sensor and voltage sensor calibrated. So that's what I'm going to do today. That comes from this page. Talks about how to set it all up and all the parameters and what they do, of course. And then it comes to right here for the analog monitor calibration of battery voltage. There used to be a thing in here for current too, but now they seem to just have this video. Anyway, so I broke out my little piece of plywood I use. Got tie wraps through it, got tie wraps across the frame. Now I'm going to take the props off, turn them upside down, and move them one time around the platform. So this prop's going to be turned upside down and put on here. This one's going to be turned upside down, put on there. That one's going to be turned upside down, put on there. That one's going to be turned upside down and put here. And that'll be the props changed. Well, there you go. There it is with all the props rotated one step around and turned upside down. Now when this powers up, it should be forcing itself down into that wood. And that's what they say to do. I just go ahead and tie wrap it to this piece of wood because it can, even though it's not flying up, it can skitter around like this if it tries. And if it did do something and get this way, then it would be flying, although the platform would be upside down. I'm sure it would go absolutely crazy. So I just never have liked this particular process or the motor compass cab compensation one either. I don't like either one of them. So now we'll get it down here in the floor. This is my current sensor on a piece of oak, fairly thick, really heavy. This keeps it from getting pushed around in the air turbulence and stuff. And it's just hooked into the platform. This is just a different kind of connector that I can use. So now I'm going to put the battery here. So I've got my meter, my radio, and I've attached a USB cable. I'll hook this to the mission planner. Got that kind of run underneath that piece of oak. Up next to it and underneath the tie wraps and plugged into the side of the flight controller so I can see what it says. And the first thing I really want to do is just power it up at some power, not really doing what is the procedure in the documentation. I just want to see what this says amps is being pulled versus what this says. This will be straight out of the battery. This will be everything 100%. I know this will be 100%, whatever this reads. I can read voltage across these two test points on that board easily. So we'll see what happens here. Okay, I'm recording the screen. I've also got my cell phone recording the current sensor. What I'm going to do is I'm going to arm this, jump back to this page so I can call out voltages while I read them right here, and I'm going to raise the throttle about 25%, read out the current and voltage, raise the throttle to 50%, which is basically my hover, and read out current and voltages. Then afterwards I'll view this video and see how closely they come to each other. Okay, so let's just, for kicks and grins, make sure this is this way. And get ready here. Then we click there. Okay. I'm just making sure of what I have to do. Arm. Oh, wow. Must have picked up satellites or something. Okay. Now then. Oops. Darn it. Arm. Okay. That's just a little 291 amps. Can't read it. Try to get some glasses on. 290 amps, 49 volts. My headset fell off. Okay, try this again. 2.9. Let's go for 50%. 10.94 at 2402. 11, 10, 10, 23.89 volts. We'll cut that all back down and disarm there. Not much fun. And boy, you saw it at low current. It was reading way off, 3 amps, and it was reading 0.5. But as the current came up, it got closer, because these things do not work well at low amperage. And I truthfully have been playing with this for a while. I don't need to show you 14 of those on floor current dealies, because they're dangerous. I've done 3 of them already. I've been playing with this voltage right here. You can see it's already up to 52.706 from 40. This is the battery amp per volt. So raising this number right here is how you calibrate that current sensor. There's another way, but anyway, I don't like what I've got so far, so I'm going to bump this to 53. And ride it out. And power down the platform. Power up the platform. And do it all again. I'm not going to show you all of them. I'll wait until I've got it sort of right, and then I'll show you the last one. I messed up some of my videos. For some reason, this one doesn't have any audio on it, so I'm going to come back after the fact and try to tell you what I did here. This is just the analog voltage calibration, and what it's telling you to do here is to go in, set your monitor type to other, and then read the voltage, and then put it into a section of the mission planner, and it will recalculate the voltage for you. So I knew that I had 25.21 volts going to the platform. So let me try to fast forward this up. Okay. And so what I did is I came in here to the area they tell you to in that document, and I put 25.21 right there. I'm pointing towards the other, and then I'm saying put 25.21 volts right here. I'm really sorry about losing audio on this one. So here we go. We'll get through this. I didn't get much sleep last night. There's a hole. This is me coming in here, post-production again. Oops. Now, how'd you do that? Okay, there we go. Let's make this a little bigger real quick. I trying to clean up some things in this video. Oh, this was a bad day today. No sleep and then garbage going on. I come in here in this. I'm just going to insert this here. I'm sorry. I come in here in this and show you how to measure the voltage and change this, and it magically changes the 11 voltage divider to whatever it should be for that voltage. Technically, right here's another one where you can measure the current and come in here and put it there, and this will change from it's at 53 right now. But I'm going to go ahead and let this run. This is just me coming in here post-production trying to clean up some little things in this video. This one didn't go real good. The whole day didn't go real good. You'll see that soon. And I make mention someplace where I'm showing you to go into the parameters and change the amps per volt in the main parameter list, and then just keep running your test again. I find that to get me closest, the quickest of any of these. But that video will tell you a different way, I believe, and that's coming in here just like I measured the voltage and came in here. You can measure the current and come in here. I don't like this. It doesn't work for me that well. But seeing I mentioned it elsewhere, there's another way to do this. I thought I would put that other way in here. I'm going to let it go back to the normal program right now. I'm sorry, guys. Other thing going on around here. So right there, I'm going to put 25.21 volts. And right down below it, it recalculates immediately what you need to put into Mission Planner. Let me see if I can't really see the screen to narrate what's going on here. There we go. Here we go. So now I'll go over. It actually puts it in the perimeter for you. And you see now I've got 25.21 volts on the front screen. So it was perfectly calibrated. And it's bat underscore it's the battery voltage multiplier. Was talking something else there about where I'd changed the amps, and I'll show the amp results here in a second. Right there it is. Yay, he found it. There's where that was changed from 11 down to 10 point whatever it calculated it at. So that's really done for you. That's all I needed to do to get the voltage spot on. $294 350 2477 volts. 24 volts. 13. Well, I did find one of the last checks I did with the actual current monitor. So I showed you that. And this comes in here on this documentation. And they don't talk about current calibration here. And I can't find it. This video does right here. And I'm not going to show the video because, again, I don't know if I get in trouble for putting somebody else's videos in my videos. I was a little bit worried about the palm slap on the video the other day from that movie that was going to get me a copyright strike, get me cut off. But anyway, I will show you what I did to get that. You could hear in that call out of that voltage, current, I've got it pretty much accurate, not precise. Voltage is pretty precise now. The current is accurate enough for me. And again, I also found out that is all four motors and the VTX and everything that's pulling current is being shown in that, I think. If it's coming from the ESC, it could just be the motors and not the flight controller and all that other stuff. But I digress again. So for that, I found that the 53, you saw me change it to 53. That underscore, this one right here. This gets your amperage reading correctly. Changing this to 53 got me pretty close on my amperage from the default 40. This being changed, and you saw how I just read it. And you can go ahead and read it without it under load with a meter and just go into that screen I showed you. Put the monitor to other, type in the actual voltage, and it will recalculate this one for you. But you have to play with the amperage one. This one right here. You have to keep changing this one manually and rebooting and trying it again and see what it is back and forth. The voltage is easy. Amperage and having, you saw, even though it reads good at 10, 15 amps, it don't read worth a hoot at 3. It read the 3 as 0.5. So those are just the way that you do this. So I think I've got it where I need it now. And that really takes us to the end of this one. I'm not sure right now if I want to do if I want to call this build done and go fly. Yeah, I'm sure I want to do that, but I'm not sure I should. Sure is a nice day out. It's rainy and wet. Not quite raining yet, but cloudy. Also, in addition, sometimes I like to do this. And I showed you yesterday the calculation of calibration of the barometer for temperature. I like to do these two. I don't know if I'll do them or not. I think what I'm going to do at this time is I'm not going to declare this built. I'm going to go back and do a video and work through this and see how I compare to this. And because I really haven't been looking at this much, I did take his notch filter stuff out of this, and I did look at it for the battery voltage and stuff, what it might get me close. But evidently his and mine are nowhere near the same, because when I found his I used this and it didn't work for me. I had to take it up to 53. He didn't. But I'm going to go ahead and work through this. So I'm going to go ahead and stop this video here and say thank you very much.